Okay, so today we are going to be looking at lesson 3.4 in our Go Math materials. This is page 169 through 174. Okay, 169 through 174. And those are the pages we're going to be looking at. So if you don't have that, a pencil, and your whiteboard in front of you, you might not need your whiteboard because we're rounding decimals today, but I would get those materials just in case you need them. One thing I do want to just remind you of is that you will need to fill out that homework Google Forms after you complete the lesson, okay? I have a lot of students that are not doing that, okay? So we need to make sure we're doing that every single time. All right, so let's see. We're going to start at the top where it says unlock the problem, and it says round decimals. Sorry. All right, here we go. So, unlock the problem. This is like not wanting. Okay, there we go. The gold frog of South America is one of the smallest frogs in the world. It is 0.386 of an inch long, or 386 thousandths of an inch long. What is the length rounded to the nearest hundredth of an inch? Okay, so we're going to take a look at this in a place value chart first. So we're at the part where it says one way, use a place value chart. Write the number in a place value chart and circle the digit in the place which you want to round. So they've done it for us over here. They've put this place value chart right below the picture of this frog, and they've put the 0 in the ones place, then the decimal point, the 3 in the tenths place, the 8 in the hundredths place, and the 6 in the thousandths place. Now, if they didn't do that for us, we could easily draw it, right? So it says, write the number, we did that, circle the digit in the place to which you want to round. So it already told us, what is the length rounded to the nearest hundredth of an inch? So we're going to circle the hundredths position, which in this case is the 8. Okay. The second part says, in the place value chart, underline the digit to the right of the place to which you are rounding. So to the right would be the thousandths place, and that digit is a 6. They underlined that for you. Then it says, if the digit to the right is less than 5, the digit in the place to which you are rounding stays the same. If the digit to the right is 5 or greater, the digit in the rounding place is increased by 1. Okay, so we're going to look at that. So we have our 8. We look to the right. That's a 6. So because it's 5 or more, 6 is bigger than 5, right? That's more than 5. This is going to increase by 1. So the 8 is going to become a 9. Okay? So it says drop the digits after the place to which you are rounding. So our answer is 0.39. Oh no, this pen's dying. 0.39. Sorry guys, my pen had an ink there. 0.39. We do not write anything because that's the number we use to round it. Okay? All right, let's look at the next part where it says another way. So we're just down a little bit more towards the bottom here. Another way, use place value, which is similar to pretty much the place value chart, okay? All right, let's look at it. The little grass frog is the smallest frog in North America. It is 0.437 of an inch long. So 437 thousandths of an inch long. It's very tiny, very, very tiny. So it's asking us in part A, what is the length of the frog to the nearest hundredth of an inch? Okay, so let's look at our hundredths place. So we go tenths, hundredths, there's a 3 in the hundredths place. Okay, we look to the right, our number is a 7. So 7's greater than 5, so that 3 becomes a 4. So the nearest hundredth of an inch, the frog is about 0.44 of an inch long. Tiny, okay? What is the length of the frog to the nearest tenth of an inch? Well, we got to look at the tenths place, and there's a 4 in the tenths place. We look to the right, our digit's a 3, so the 3 means that that stays the same because it's less than 5, okay? So 0.4. So the nearest tenth of an inch, the frog is about 0.4 of an inch long, 4/10 of an inch long. All right, we're going to go ahead and look at, let's see. Yeah, I want to look at the example on the top of page 170. So it looks like this. It's got a picture of a big frog. Okay, this is the top of page 170 where it says example. So we're going to look at this one. It says the Goliath frog is the largest frog in the world. Okay, Goliath means big, so makes sense that it's the largest. Okay. It is found in the country of Cameroon in West Africa. The Goliath frog can grow to be 11.815 inches long. That's pretty big. That's almost as long as a ruler. Okay, almost as long as a ruler. How long is the Goliath frog to the nearest inch? Okay, to the nearest inch. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our big giant number here, this 11.185, in this place value chart that they give us right here. So we have 1 in the tens place, 1 in the ones place, then we have our decimal point, then we have 8 in the tenths, 1 in the hundredths, and 5 in the thousandths place. So it says to find the place to which you want to round. So we're going to circle that digit. So it already told us how long is the Goliath frog to the nearest inch. So we're going to look at our ones place here. So we're going to circle the ones place. We are looking to the right. So they say to underline the number to the right, but I like to draw an arrow because then that reminds me what I'm looking at. So draw an arrow over to the 8. That 8 is going to determine what we do with the number we circled, okay? So because the 8 is bigger than the 5, right? Do you agree that 8 is bigger than 5? You should say yes. Okay? The 1 is going to increase by 1. So if we add 1 more to the number 1, we get 2, right? So to the nearest inch, the Goliath frog is about 12 inches long. And the first thing I said to you when I read the problem is it's almost the size of a ruler, right? So that's 12 inches. A ruler's about 12 inches long, okay? All right, we're going to go down to the bottom where it says try this. Try this, down here at the bottom. There's a couple of examples here. So they've got A and B, okay? So they've given us this number, 14 and 603 thousandths. And they've told us that they want us to round, and they've given us 2 different things that we're going to be doing with that same number. So part A says round to the nearest hundredth. So we first have to put our number into our place value chart. So we have 1, 4, decimal point 603. Okay, we look at our hundredths position, which right here is the hundredths position. It's a 0. And in order to round it to the nearest hundredth, we have to look to the number to the right of us. So we look to the 3. Since the 3 is smaller than 5, that number is not going to change. Okay? So 14 and 603 rounded to the nearest hundredth is, we're going to write it backwards. We have 0, 6, decimal point 4, 1. We do not include the 3 because the 0 is in the hundredths position. Okay, let's look at part B. Part B says to the nearest whole number. So we're using that same number in our place value chart. So let's write that. 1, 4, decimal point 603. Rounded to the nearest whole number. So we're looking at 4. We're going to look to the right, which the number to the right is a 6. That 6 determines what's going to happen to the 4, okay? So because 6 is bigger than 5, 4 becomes, we add 1 more. It increases by 1, so it becomes 5. Okay, so it's actually 15. We do not write anything after it because we're working with this number and this number. We don't write anything after it. Okay, so 15. All right, I want to go to the share and show page, which is on page 171. And I'm going to fix this so it's not crooked here. Maybe. Sorry guys, the foot on this projector thingy is kind of weird. Okay, here we go. We're at the top of page 171 where it says to share and show. All right, or where it says share and show, I'm sorry. Number 1, we're going to work on that one first. So it says to write the place value of the underlined digit. That's the first thing it wants you to do. Write the place value of the underlined digit. So the underlined digit is a 7. Well, we have to say, okay, there's nothing in the ones place, there's a 6 in the tenths, there's a 7 in the hundredths. Okay, so we're going to write hundredths. Okay, that's the place value of the underlined digit. Then it says to round each number to the place of the underlined digit. So the underlined digit is 7. So we look at our 7. We look to the right, which is a 3. The 3 tells us, since it's less than 5, that we don't have to change the 7. So our answer is 0.67. All right, let's look at number, I want to look at 3, and we might come back to 2, but I want to look at 3 first. All right, so we have 12 and 917 thousandths. Okay, the underlined digit is the 2. So the 2 is in the ones place. That's the first part, the ones position. And now they want us to round it. So we look at our 2, we look to the right. The number to the right is a 9. Because that's larger than 5, okay, $9 is bigger than 5, we're going to change the 2 and increase it by 1 to a 3. So our answer is 13. You do not write anything after the number you've rounded. Do not write anything after the number that's rounded. Okay, I want to look at the part down here where it says on your own. No, I don't. I want to look at 4, 5, and 6 really quick because these are some great examples. And then the on your own stuff, I'm going to give you a couple to work on, and then we're going to try them together. So number 4, 5, and 6, the directions say to name the place value to which each number was rounded. Okay, so we went, let's look at 4 first. We went from 982 thousandths to 98 hundredths. So we're missing the 2 here, right? When we compare those two, we're missing the 2. But the place value to which we rounded was the hundredths because we went from tenths, hundredths, thousandths to just tenths, hundredths. So you're just going to write hundredths. Hundredths. All right, let's look at number 5. So we have 3 and 695 thousandths to 4. Okay, so they looked at the 3. They looked to the right, so they rounded it to the ones position. Ones position. Let's look down here at some of these on your own. Okay, I want you to try number, let's see, try number 7. I'm going to circle it for you. Try number 7. I want you to pause the video. You're going to write the place value of the underlined digit, and then you're going to round it. Come back and see if you got the same answer that I got. Okay? All right, you should have, sorry, I'm going to move this over. You should have paused this video. We're looking at number 7 together. So we have 0.592, 592 thousandths. So first thing we're looking at is the underlined digit, which is a 5. That is in the tenths position. Tenths position. Then we're looking at rounding it. So it's a 5. We look to the right. That 9 determines what we do with the 5. So because it's larger than 5, the 5 becomes a 6. We increase it by 1. So we write 0.6. We do not write anything after the underlined digit. Nothing after the underlined digit. All right, let's look at one of these down here. 13, 14, and 15. Name the place value to which it was rounded. So I want to look at, let's look at 13, okay? I want you to try 13 on your own. come back and see if you got the same answer that I got, okay? So you should pause this video while you're doing that. All right, number 13 is 328 thousandths, and they are rounding it to 0.33, so we have 0, 0, decimal point, 3, 3, 2, 3. What position is that 3 in where it changed? It is in the hundredths place. So you're going to you're going to put hundredths. Hundredths. Okay. 16, 17, and 18 is a little different because it says to round 16 and 748 thousandths to the place named. So there's tenths, hundredths, and ones that they're having you work on. I want to work on the tenths first. So we look at the tenths position, which is a 7. We look to the right, which is a 4. The 4 is less than 5, so it does not change it. So it's just 16.7. Sorry, the lights flipped off, guys. Hold on just a second. There we go. All right, we're going to go ahead and go to page number 173, which is your practice and homework page, okay? Practice and homework page on 173. All right, I'm going to give you the problems that you're going to be working on for your math homework tonight. Don't forget that after you do your math homework, you are going to go and fill out that Google form, okay, that shows me your answers. If you don't do that, you don't get the credit, okay? Just because you watch the video does not mean that you've done the work, okay? All right, here we go. That's only part of doing the work, okay? All right, so you are going to work on number 1, 2, 4, 6, let's see, I want you to do 7 and 9. You're going to do 10 and 12. And 14. Okay, that's kind of a lot on that first page, but this stuff's pretty simple. So on page 173, you're doing 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, and 14. Then on the back, which is page 174, I want you to do number 1 and 2. Number 1 and number 2. Okay? So, again, on page 173, which is that first page, you are doing number 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, and 14, and that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 on that side. There's 11 total. On page 174, you're doing number 1 and number 2. Okay, 11 total problems. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and get the help. Don't forget to fill out your Google form. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.